Hi, everyone, and welcome to this Smartrmail workshop. As most of you already know, my name is Nicolas. I'm the Customer Support Manager and Growth Lead at Smartrmail. Many of you already know Jack, who is our Customer Support Lead from the Australian time zone. So today we'll be focusing on recurring recommendation emails. Some of you are already using this feature, while it's probably new for some others. There will be something for everyone today as we'll go through the basics and through more advanced settings that can improve your results with this type of automated email. So to start, we'll check what recurring recommendation emails are with a few examples, and we'll continue by going through reasons why you should set them up. Once this is done, we'll go through the core of our workshop, which is setting up a basic recurring recommendation email. We do recommend that you open up your Smartrmail account at the same time so that you can follow instructions and recommendations as we go. Finally, we'll go through more advanced settings, allowing you to create high-converting recurring recommendation emails. Feel free to use the Zoom chat feature appearing down the bottom of your screen, and we'll go through all of your questions at the end of the workshop. So first, what are recurring recommendation emails? So just like the name says, these are emails that send on a regular basis to subscribers. They can send every month, every 2 weeks, every week, or even more than once per week. The frequency recommended is different for each store depending on the product they sell. We'll cover this in more details in a few minutes. These emails can send to your entire subscribers list or to a very specific segment of subscribers. Again, we'll see cases where it's interesting to send to everyone and cases where it's better to send to a smaller segment. So the real beauty of these emails is that they include sets of products picked from your store and with an order of priority which will be different for each of your subscribers based on what they already purchased in the past, what they clicked in the past, what they abandoned in your store in the past, what product pages they saw in the past, and the same data for other similar subscribers. So these products can be picked from your entire store's product list or from very specific collections existing in your store. In other words, overall, this feature allows you to send the right set of products to each subscribers on a regular basis without having to select these products or trigger this email. Now that we defined what type of email that is, Jack will cover why we believe that every e-commerce store should set up recurring recommendation emails.
Thanks, Nick. So as merchants, you want to be spending more time obviously working on your business and less time working in it. The recurring recommendation email feature allows you to set and forget. So it ensures you can actively focus on growing your business while still generating revenue. Each week, when you have new releases or products coming into your store, you don't want to manually be entering them into your newsletters. However, you still want to let your customers know. Once built, a new products recommendation email will rotate the new arrivals in your store to the subscribers that you choose on the frequency that you set. Rotating subject lines, personalizing the email, and ensuring you're updating the customers an appropriate amount of times in relation to how often you are adding products builds confidence and for the customer and drives sales. And so how does this all work? Well, the Smart Product block will choose the products from associated feed and then display them to each subscriber. So that's simple so far, but the cool bit is when they display the different products for each customer that they're most likely to purchase. So these calculations are worked out, like Nick said, based on the previous purchases within your store, the previous clicks through your emails, as well as other subscribers' purchases in your store as well. So looking at the largest e-commerce provider, Amazon, it's easy to see how product recommendations are undoubtedly a key to their success. And a few key takeaways to consider that we can learn from them are recommending products that your customers will enjoy by cross-selling using social proof, cross-selling with complementary products, so items that are frequently bought together, and then showcasing similar items so that the customers compare and upsell if there's a new, better model. So now we've gone through obviously the reasons why we want to implement a recurring recommended email. So we're going to actually go through now the walkthrough of how to set this one up. So as you can see here, there's only 7 steps here, and we're going to walk through these ones now. So first, we want to be able to get into just our home screen here, and we're going to click on the recommendations tab. From here, we're going to click on the new product recommendations on the top right. And this is going to open up an area where we're able to choose our theme from a template that we've previously created or just a blank one, which is what we're going to use today. And now from here, what we've populated is the best selling products. And so from here now, we're going to make a couple of adjustments to this email just to get it ready to send. So obviously we want to name this one for our records, so we know what we're offering on this one. So the best sellers, and we're going to change the amount of products to 4. And we're going to change the design here as well, so that we've just got the 2 columns there. And then from here, we're going to add a saved block, which we're going to bring in the dog image here and bring this guy up the top. Sorry, we're going to have that down the bottom, and we're going to put our name block up the top above these ones as well. And so obviously what we're seeing here is we're seeing that we've just got the initial text introduction for this email, and then these are the products that we're recommending for the customers. Now on the left-hand side, we've got some more options to customize how these ones are coming across. Obviously we can choose the product feed, and we'll delve into that one a little bit more in a minute. But from what you can see here is we have the three options being the slow moving, new arrivals, and bestsellers. And now they're decided by how they're added into your store. So if the newest products added to your store, they're obviously going to pop up in the new arrivals, and the best sellers are going to be the most sold products throughout your store. And then obviously the slow moving is the least sold items. We're then able to choose how many of these items we're able to have, and then how to align the text, and whether we're going to have the button on this one as well. After we've designed our email and we've got it how we want it to look, obviously the customization option is up to you. We're going to then want to choose a customer list that we're sending this one to. So we're going to set this one up to send to all our subscribers in this scenario. And then we're just going to want to put in a subject line. So for this one, we might put in favorites for you. And then what we can do here is we're going to enable this one, which is then going to let us choose when we're going to schedule this email. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make this schedule for Wednesdays at 9 a.m., which is obviously going to select for next week. And we're going to send this one, every 2 weeks. Now, we're going to delve into a little bit how often we're going to send recommendation emails as well in a second. But all you need to do once you've set that is click the automate button, and that's it. You've now set up your first recommendation email. And now, so what we want to do is discuss the frequency, obviously, a little bit. So as Nick mentioned earlier, the frequency for each store is going to be different. For example, if your customers are purchasing once a year, a single email each month will suffice. Whereas if they're purchasing every Monday, consider emailing your customers multiple times a week. To work out how often your store should be sending recurring recommended emails, first take the total orders in your store over a 365-day period and divide that by the number of unique customers your store had in that same time. This establishes your average purchase frequency. And then to calculate the average time between purchases by taking 365 and dividing it by your average purchase frequency. This will give you a number in days. Therefore, if I have a store with 1,000 orders and 200 customers in the past year, my average purchase frequency is every 73 days or so. Therefore, I'm going to be sending my customers 1 recurring recommended email per week.
Great, thank you, Jack. So now we'll delve into more advanced recurring recommendation emails. But before we jump into all the different settings that can be used to make your email campaign into an amazing sales machine, we have a quick look below the hood and discover exactly how the recommendation engine works. So to simplify this as much as possible, we'll take the example of a bestseller's recurring recommendation email sending from the pet shop that Jack used a few minutes ago. In this store, the products that sell the most are dog food 1, dog food 2, cat food 1, and cat food 2. And all the other products are a mix of dog toys, cat toys, and so on. When calculating bestsellers, we take into account the total grossing amount generated by each product and the number of units sold to ultimately attribute a score to each of these products. That's what we see in column D right here. If we were to send a recommendation email to a brand new subscriber who never purchased a product, never clicked an email, never visited the product page, and never uploaded the cart, we would use this order to find out which product should send to this subscriber. So here the person would receive product dog food 1, dog food 2, and cat food 1. Now our recommendation engine is personalized, which means that we'll take into account past purchase data, past click data, past visit behavior of each subscribers and correlations between this subscriber and other subscribers. So the first element is the past purchase data. Here is a raw view of the purchase data of 4 customers. At first glance, it's just another CSV. But when looking more closely, we can see that Nicolas purchased mostly dog products, Yasmin purchased mostly cat products, and Jack purchased a bit of both. To simplify this analysis, we'll just focus on Yasmin today, so the cat products. The second element is the behavior of these customers on the website. We can see that Nicolas viewed, clicked, and abandoned some products, so did Yasmin, and so did Jack. These elements aren't equally important, so they'll affect the personalization score differently. So again, focusing on Yasmin, we can see that she abandoned and clicked products in the cat category. As a matter of fact, here is Yasmin's final personalization score. We can see that because she already purchased some of these products, the score of these products has been lowered. The goal here is to recommend other products that they might be interested in and not really to send again what they already purchased. If you want to send again what they already purchased, there is another type of email that can be set up in your automations in Smartrmail. We can also see that products that have been abandoned have been boosted a lot. Products that have been clicked have been boosted a little bit. So overall, these elements change the order of priority for the products that Yasmin will receive. While the original order for the best sellers listing was dog food 1, dog food 2, and cat food 1, Yasmin will receive cat food 3, cat food 4, and cat food 5, which are more in line with what she purchased so far. Finally, the last element to understand is that product automatically rotates between each recurring recommendation campaign. The way we do that is by reducing the score of products that have been already received in past product recommendation emails. Yeah, that's pretty much our model. We simplified this model for representation too, but like one last layer of personalization applies too. That's the correlation between customers. If 2 customers purchase the same product, we can imagine that there is a strong link between these 2 customers' behavior. So as a result, products that each of them purchase will be recommended to the other, and so on, modifying even more these personalized scores. Now, Jack will go over how you can take this knowledge and set up an even better recurring recommendation email.
Awesome. Thanks again, Nick. So now we're going to take a look at recurring recommendation email that's sending specifically to a segment of customers with a specific product feed. So for this one, we have a few additional steps. And first, we're going to need to create both a targeted product feed and a targeted segment. So let's just jump back over here and start those ones off. So first, we're going to do the product feed. And for this one, we're going to choose dog food products. And so we're going to name the feed for this one dog feed. And we're going to search for the collections within our store of the dog food products here. So now we've created that one, we can save that one and exit there. And we've now created that product feed, which is just here. So from here, we need to create now a smart segment. And on this one, we're going to be creating the customers that have previously purchased dog food items, obviously. And so here we're going to go dog food. And we're going to find the customers that have purchased from the collection being dog food. And then we're going to create this smart segment. So as we can see, this store doesn't have too many subscribers to begin with, at only 4. So we're only going to be populating with 1 subscriber here in the dog food segment. However, your store will more than likely have many more, and this will be a much easier feature to use. So when moving forward, we're just starting the same way by creating the product recommendation by clicking the new product recommendation button, and then again, choosing the template or the layout that you want to choose. We're going to choose the blank one again from here. And on the side here where we've originally put in the product feed for the first one, this is where we're going to choose just the dog food products. And so when we click that in, obviously these products now are all just the dog food items. And again, we're going to now bring the amount of products in this one down to just the 3 items. And we're also going to add those additional customization features as well. So as before, we're putting in the merge field here. So what this is every time you send this out to your customers, they're going to actually receive their name in there, as long as you have that obviously in the subscriber information. So if we sent this one out to Nick, it would say, "Hi, Nick." If we sent it to me, it would say, "Hi, Jack." And so adding that little touch of personalization just goes a long way with your customers. And then we're obviously just going to add in a couple more here, just making that email a little bit more personalized with the dog there as well. And so here is where we're going to be able to choose the customers that we're sending to. And in this case, that's the smart segment, the dog food customers. And we're going to name this one dog food recommendation. So again, this one is for our results here. And then down here is where you're going to want to choose the subject line. Now, for example, in this one, what we're going to want to do is also rotate the subject lines. The benefit of this is that every week the customer is going to be, or how often you're sending this one out, every week the customer is going to be receiving this email. And this way you're not going to have to change the subject line, or they get the same subject line each time. So this is automatically going to do it for you, and you can continue to add new ones here. But for the first one, we might even use another name, another merge tag, being first name, food for your papa. And so now it's a little bit more personalized for the recipient. They're going to have their name in the subject line as well as in the email content itself. We're targeting the specific category of customers that have purchased the dog food from the segment that we created earlier. And we're also just using the dog food product feed that we made. One last thing to add is you can even use emojis in some of these subject lines if you want to move them around as well, just to mix it up a little bit for your customers and just engaging them with a different way. Again, to finish this one, all we again need to do is enable it. And then once again, we can now choose how often we're going to send this. And because it's dog food, we might be sending it later in the week, on Thursdays weekly at 9 a.m. And so we'll automate that one as well. And it's as easy as that. Once again, now we've created 2 automated emails. So now we've gained a pretty good insight as to why recommended emails, how to create them, as well as the technical side behind how the products are chosen as well. So you obviously want to create, include recurring recommended emails in your marketing plan. And you've now learned how to implement them. From creating new recommendation emails to choosing the product feed and the subscriber list to rotating the subject lines as well. So a few key things to remember is with relevant personalized product recommendation emails averaging at 27% higher open rate than their unpersonalized counterparts, you will have more success when personalizing for sure. However, don't fret if you haven't had your subscribers long enough to know much about them, as popular product purchases from previous customers are likely to be winners with your new subscribers as well. You can also reward your most loyal customers by coupling a discount code in the email when you send them with your new arrivals. Now, with all that fun stuff out of the way, Nick and I will now answer any questions that we might not have answered already.
Yeah, so you can use the Q&A function in Zoom. If you feel like you'll have more complicated questions or longer questions to ask, you also have the Smartrmail in-app chat on the bottom right corner of your Smartrmail account. Yeah, feel free to ask away if you have any. I don't see a lot of questions coming through. Oh, yeah. See a hand being raised, but no questions coming through just yet. I believe that's pretty much it for us today. I'll give just another 20 seconds in case questions go through the Q&A section. Cool. Sounds like you already knew everything about it. So yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, actually I have one here. The collections, these come from the e-commerce platform dynamically, right? Yes, absolutely. So collections that you can pick in product feeds that Jack presented earlier, they will include automatically the products that are currently in this collection. So just something to keep in mind when moving around products in and out of collections. We look at all the products that are currently linked into this particular collection. One thing that we are seeing a lot, for example, is merchants who sell car parts and they want all of their products from one specific brand, say Holden or Ford, to come through as a product feed so that only Holden or Ford parts send. So what they usually do, if they don't already have a collection with all of these products, they create one new collection which is hidden on their store to feed all of their products into that collection and use it in their Smartrmail product feed to ultimately use it in their recurring recommendation email. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Cool. I don't see any other questions. Oh, yep. Can we use unique coupons for users? Yep. So it depends on the platform you're using. If you are with Shopify, yes, you can. Unfortunately, with other platforms such as BigCommerce, Maropost Commerce Cloud, previously known as Neto, and WooCommerce, this is something that we do not do at the moment. Mostly, in some cases, like in your case, it would probably be for Maropost Commerce Cloud / Neto. There is no couponing API available just yet, but we're in touch with their team and it is part of their roadmap. As soon as it's available on their end, we'll be able to hook it up to the technology that is already available on our end, the one that we're using with Shopify. So yeah, at the end of the day, if you're with Shopify, yes. If you're with Maropost Commerce Cloud, in a couple of months. It was a pleasure, Alfredo. Yeah, glad that we got you all on the chat. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for coming, everyone.